Oh, hi there. Welcome to North of Weatherfield, a Canadian Coronation Street podcast.
This week we are going to be talking about episodes that aired in Canada from January 29th to February 2nd. But also we didn't do one last week because it was a
explain that, Shannon.
Not great week here. And so we might be referring to some stuff that happened then that we haven't talked about yet.
Exactly. My name is Brittlestar.
I'm Shannon.
These aren't our real names. Who are we this week?
This week I think I'm going to be... Who am I going to be? Who are you going to be?
I'm going to be Addie.
He was barely in this week. Well, in that case, I'll be the birthday girl, Asha.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Wait, that makes us brother and sister. That's weird. Hold for theme. God, that's good, isn't it?
So if you haven't seen these episodes, we will be talking about what happened. So
Yeah. So
watch us later.
Exactly. Avert your eyes and ears.
And ears.
If you haven't watched them yet.
So this week we're going to be talking about Paul.
Yeah.
His relationship with Billy, his deteriorating health conditions.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about Abby, Cassie, and Kevin.
Yeah.
And everything that's going on there at the garage. We are going to be talking about Bethany, who made a reappearance. Mm-hmm. We are going to be talking about Damon, who made a reappearance. Yeah. And I'm so glad we refreshed ourselves on Damon's name recently as well. That's good.
It's good. It's all worked out.
Yeah.
Exactly. So are we starting with Paul?
We're going to start with Paul.
Okay. So what's our question for Paul? Then what's our deal? So to bring you up to speed, Paul's health situation is deteriorating even further.
With his MND.
As we all know.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And he's now down to about one hand can move, and that's about it.
Yeah, and he, so everyone's trying to help him live his best life, experience things. Mm-hmm. So lovely thoughts. Some are arranged for him to go on a motorbike ride in a sidecar.
Yeah.
Didn't pan out. There wasn't a sidecar. People tried to help him get on. It was very painful watching that.
Summer's an idealist.
She's also not been around much. Where's she been lately?
Exactly.
She came in the other day and was like, "Good morning," coming in the front door.
Like, who the hell are you?
Where does she live now?
She's changed her name to Fall.
I did quite enjoy. I enjoyed the fact that they shared with people. I take it they researched this, that there are holidays you can go on
that are disabled, abled.
Yeah, that are geared for accessibility issues.
Yeah, that's good.
Lifts into the pool and stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
I think my favorite Paul storyline this week that started off nice.
Yeah.
Was him and David being in the pub getting drunk on sangria.
I agree. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I will say as well that when Paul's character came on to the street, my hopes were low.
Yeah, I agree.
But he's fantastic character. He's the guy who acts the part of Paul was doing an amazing job this past week.
I agree.
Because I can't imagine, because you're doing Coronation Street and it's heartfelt sometimes, but it's goofy. But this is like a serious conversation they're having.
Yeah.
Because they're having conversations about assisted death.
I also hadn't realized that because here in Canada we have medically assisted death. I didn't realize the UK doesn't have that at all yet.
Yeah.
And it's just heartbreaking watching these sorts of scenarios.
I mean, it'd be terrible. So, I mean, full credit to both Paul and Billy, the actors that play those people, because that is tough, man.
Well, I mean, Billy just goes around out of breath and super tanned.
He is super tan. He's tremendously tan. But his beard is impeccable.
I don't like beards, but it's very well looked after.
It's coiffed.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So what did you think? So Paul asked Abby to go and get him drugs.
Because he wanted to off himself, basically. Take control of the situation.
To have control over his own destiny, essentially. Mm-hmm. And he was worried that if he didn't do it soon, he wouldn't be able to physically do it himself. He asked Todd to help him, and Todd was like,
"Can't do it, buddy."
Which, don't ask someone who's in the funeral industry to help you end your life.
I know, it's an
That's
obvious
going to end up.
of interest.
It's not going to look good.
No, it's going to be terrible for their marketing.
Yeah,
it's going to be rough.
Yeah.
So he asked Abby to help score him some benzos. So they call it.
That's what we call it. That's the word we heard.
And then, well, anyway, she got them, and then it was a big deal, and Billy was all upset. And it was like, initially I was thinking watching that scene that I was like, Billy's going overboard here. He doesn't understand how serious this is, or maybe he understands how serious. He doesn't understand what it means to Paul, and all that kind of stuff. But then I think it was great, because it was like you couldn't just walk into that situation and just be like, oh, okay. You would be angry.
Right.
I think.
So you saw him working through that.
Yeah. Yeah, which was great. But can we segue from there to Abby and Cassie?
Yes.
Or do you have more to say about Paul and Billy?
Yeah, no. I mean, that kind of brings in the Abby and Cassie.
As it ended up at the end, then, so they're, with Paul and Billy, Billy said that, listen, this goes against all of my church stuff. So does being married to a gay guy. So whatever. But this is important to Billy, obviously, and he wants to, do what's best for Paul.
And he swore on the Bible that he would.
He did swear on the Bible that he would, which means he's going to take it up with the big guy himself later, as he said. I'm paraphrasing. But anyway, so when Abby went to score the benzos, as they say, for Paul, Cassie.
Cassie. What's up with her?
Well, her teeth are one size too big.
I mean, as I said, if you came to drop your car off at the garage.
That's cruel. I shouldn't say.
Essentially, Abby and Cassie have the same descriptor. They're similar age, blonde hair,
they both
straight
have
white
veneers.
teeth.
Yeah, they both have like the white, just perfect teeth.
So why do you think Cassie's doing this? Is she an inherent troublemaker?
Yes.
Or does she want Kevin?
So Abby.
She want that furry little body.
Well, not everyone's as lucky as you are, Shannon. It's because Cassie trailed Abby as she went to buy the drugs, score the benzos, and then also didn't just do that, but like knew the guy that she was buying the drugs from because she's also a recovering addict, but took pictures of Abby buying the drugs and then went back and told Kevin.
Without telling Abby.
Without saying anything to Abby. Yeah. So is she an inherent troublemaker? Yes. However, I think long con, I think that she's trying to weasel her way into Kevin's chest
pants.
hair. Exactly. So I think it's, she's trying to weasel her way into Kevin's chest hair is what's happening there.
Because she also framed Abby for scratching the car.
Yeah, she's a bad one.
I agree.
She's a bad one. You know what I mean? And I respect that people need chances. They need second chances. Absolutely. And third chances and fourth and fifth chances.
So Abby's the one who gave her a second chance. Kevin was going to sack her.
What a kick in the pants for Abs. Whose teeth are looking great, by the way.
They always do.
Well, they were a little bit much at the beginning, but now they're great. I'm just saying, I like them. They're good.
So are you rooting for Abby and Kevin to stay together?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, Kevin punching way above his weight. Like way above his weight.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe there's something wrong with Abby. But good for Kevin.
Yeah.
Good for Kevin. I want them to stay together. And I think that Cassie's just trouble. I mean, he'd be keeping more in line with Cassie. But, and again, we're talking about the characters here. I'd rather Abby and him stick around for sure.
Okay.
Because they've been through so much.
They have a kid that we saw for about 30 seconds.
Jack.
This past year. No. Alfie.
Alfie? Who the hell's Alfie?
Abby and Kevin's baby. That's not Kevin's baby.
But I just realized we haven't seen that baby. Where did that baby go?
He was at the Christmas concert.
Was he?
For about 30 seconds.
Is he a toddler now?
No, he's like maybe like a 5-year-old. Like I think he's like a Bertie age.
Oh, that's the convenient age. Then they can just be they're just somewhere else.
Emily Bishop's watching them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're at the community center.
The quads are probably looking after them. I
just sent them to the Red Wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a kickabout. That's
the thing with being a parent. As soon as your kids hit 5, they're no longer your responsibility. You can just go to the Rovers anytime you want.
So, Bethany.
Oh, sweet Bethany.
Sarah's daughter, Bethany, reappeared.
Yeah.
When last we saw her, what, about 3 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
She was a older teenager.
Yeah.
She was babysitting Bertie,
Yeah.
who's an infant,
Yeah.
as his mother lay dying in the next room.
That's right.
And she
Rough gig.
was she snogging Daniel? I think she was.
I think she did. I think there was some inappropriateness there for sure.
And then
but Daniel was just hurt. He was just reaching out.
He's always, he reaches out a lot to a lot of people.
His hands are reaching in the right direction.
So she headed off because she felt guilty.
Yeah.
With the dying wife.
Yeah.
And she came back and went straight to see Daniel and hopped straight into bed with him.
She really did. It was straight back into under the covers.
Well, I think under the covers the first time.
You think they hadn't slept together before then?
I think she was under 18.
I don't know if she's under 18.
Before?
I don't think she was.
She was close.
I think she's supposed to be like late 20s now.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Listen, everyone looks young to me now. Like I'm an old man. But I will tell you the one thing I feel bad about, because you and I talked about this, and you were saying, "Who are you on Daniel's side or not?" And I'm on Daniel's side, because Daisy's too much. Like, Daisy, get a grip.
It doesn't have to be one or the other. He could be his own person and look after his own kid.
If he's got a shot at being his own person or being his own person with Bethany, I mean, come on. I'm firmly on Team Daniel for this. Absolutely.
He's a groomer.
But no, that's a terrible thing to say. Don't say that. That's horrible. He's absolutely not. Absolutely not. They like each other, and she's a little bit younger than him.
And she's quite a bit, and he's known her all her life when she was growing up, and she babysat for him. Mm-hmm.
Listen, the only thing that makes me feel uncomfortable with that situation is that I used to have a big crush on Sarah Platt, Bethany's mom.
Yeah.
I still like Sarah, but if I had to choose between Sarah or Bethany,
really?
I like Bethany.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Well, I think Bethany's killed less people.
Has she? We don't know what she got up to in London. Why'd she come up north again?
London? That was my favorite part of that whole scene, is when Bethany came back and Shona, they were at the Platt's house, and Shona remarked when someone said that Bethany had come from London. She went, "London?" Is reference to like the fact that every time they mention London on Coronation Street, they say
which you found some little clip thing.
Yeah, it's in reference.
You can Google it.
They kind of like were being a little meta, because they were referencing the YouTube clips of scenes from Coronation Street over the years, where whenever a character mentions London, someone remarks it with incredulity.
Did we talk about this last time?
I don't think so. London?
Yeah.
London? But Shona said London with a smile, and they all kind of laughed. And it's like, oh, they're all in on it, which is kind of weird.
Plus, if you watched, what was the show I liked that I wouldn't let you watch anymore? The Fancy House up in Yorkshire. Downton Abbey.
Oh, yeah. Wow. What a way to describe that. The Fancy House up in Yorkshire.
But they used to go to London for the day.
What should we call this series? Let's see. We got some rich people, some servants. Let's call it The Fancy House up in Yorkshire.
Anyways, London's not that far is what I'm saying. Or at least it wasn't that far in 1910.
Up in Yorkshire. God, I'm glad they changed the name to Downton Abbey. It's way snappier.
All right. Last thing we're talking about.
We're speeding through. It's only 15 minutes so far.
We have to go out to Toronto.
Okay, all right. It's a short episode.
Toronto?
Toronto?
Well, okay. So let's talk more about Bethany. So,
okay, sure.
She is going into the pub to use the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And basically going in there to taunt Daisy.
There's a potential tauntness going on there for sure, but she's also, I don't know if there's, I think she's being a bit, listen, you back off from Bethany.
Do you think she's not going in there to purposefully taunt Daisy? You don't think that's her main goal of going in there?
No, I don't think that she realizes there was much of a thing going on with Daisy.
She knows they were engaged.
Yeah, but that's over now.
Plus, do you think that no one in her family texts her and updates her?
Absolutely not. Have you seen the Platts? No, they don't have they don't share Wordle. They don't do anything like that.
When Ryan got hit with the acid, it was when the day Daisy was going to marry Daniel. You don't think that got mentioned in Platt Chat?
No, yeah, they have Platt Chat. I forgot about Platt Chat.
Yeah.
They probably do share Wordle scores then as well. Okay, maybe, but I think she's an ingenue. She's just young. The world is a wonder, and I'm finding it hard to defend her.
So we'll leave it there.
But
you're still going to.
I'll try.
Noted.
Exactly. Yeah.
Damon.
Yeah.
So Damon came back, reappeared. Last he'd left town was because he was about to be taken out by a super bad guy.
That Adam rather had
sort of set on to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Adam hadn't set him up. He'd just let the guy know.
Yeah.
That's where you can find him.
Yeah.
And Damon, who had also impregnated Sarah Platt when she was engaged to Adam.
We can say sex.
Why? I know, but successfully sexed.
Successfully.
To conception.
She was successfully.
And so anyways, I hadn't realized that, of course, Damon left before knowing that she was pregnant, and B, with his baby. So when he came back, nothing to do with the Sarah Adam triangle. He just went and had his goons pull Adam off the street, rough him up, take him down to the water,
down to the canal, and
which there should just be a police station down there. There really
should just be. Put some cameras up. But yeah, and then they were threatening to shoot him in the head, but then Damon couldn't go through with it because Adam was under this bag on his head was saying, I've got a little boy, and make sure you tell my little boy I love him,
Harry,
and tell Harry I love him, tell Sarah I love her, and all that kind of stuff. And he was
having a panic attack.
He was having a panic attack, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is warranted in that circumstance.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then Damon chickened out on that, and now are we supposed to think that Damon's okay?
So he called off that hit, and Adam never knew it was him. And he'd also been wise enough to set up that he had his alibi. He was actually talking to Sarah in the flat when Adam was kidnapped. So the police, so our Craig couldn't find anything suspicious on his phone.
Detective Tinker.
Yeah. So he called that off. He was being nice to Sarah.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to buy his way out of his holding stake in Nick and Leanne, in the bistro with Nick and Leanne.
And he got the money.
And he ended up getting the money.
Yeah.
Yes. So he says he wants to go on the straight and narrow.
And he's building a new bar. And
yeah.
He gave the money to Ed Bailey to be the head of construction for it.
Yeah. But so do we think Damon genuinely is trying to go straight? Straighten up and fly right?
I do, but I think much like Cassie, I don't know if he can. I don't know if there's any redemption ahead for that guy. I think he'll be drawn.
Comes from a bad family.
And especially the fact that he went to go see his brother, whatever his name is, Harvey, in jail.
Yeah.
And it's like he's not going to escape that. There's no way for him to escape that. Until Harvey's dead, there's no way to escape that. But I don't think things are looking good for Harvey. Because I think they like Damon. I think he's a nice character to have. Bit of a bad, and that's the thing we were talking about. We watched it. There's a thing about Coronation Street with their characters is they often have a bit of a bad vibe to them initially, and then they get softened.
Or they come in as a good character, and then you hate them,
bad.
And then they
yeah. But I mean, like Gary Windass went through a very bad patch.
Yep.
And now everyone's like, oh, good old Gary.
Buries bodies in the woods.
Yeah, listen, don't we all?
I mean, yes.
Maybe, exactly.
So you think he's genuinely trying to?
I think he's genuinely trying, and the reason I say that is because he gave a wad of cash to Ed Bailey to help him work and build this new bar.
Buy stuff, buy supplies.
Buy supplies to put this new bar together, and which is what that place needs.
Another bar. Well, the Rovers is reopened.
Rovers is returned. Rovers Return is returned, and however, your choices are Backstreet Boozer or Bistro. Maybe there's something in between. What about maybe Damon's open to TGIFs? They'd be like the first themed franchise on the street. That'd be nice for them.
Yeah.
Be very popular for the first year or two. And anyway,
some nachos.
He gave money to Ed Bailey, a big wad of cash. And then afterwards, he got told by who told him that he's got a gambling problem. Dee Dee said to him, listen, my dad's a gambling addict. And you could see the fear in Damon's eyes.
Yeah.
And excellent acting, by the way. And you could see the fear in his eyes. And he went immediately over to the what do you call it?
The yard.
The yard. And went upstairs. And Ed was sitting there looking like he had spent the money, but he hadn't. He put it in a cash box and put it out of his way, but had come back to bet it on stuff. But then when he came back to bet it on stuff, that's when Damon showed up. But then Damon was super nice to him.
Listen, I think Damon is wanting to be a good guy. You're arguing with me. I agree.
I think you and Sarah are deluded.
Wait.
But I can't talk ill about Bethany's mom like that.
In case you're in with a chance. Yeah.
You never know, Shannon. You never know.
Yep. Go
exactly.
for it.
What if you leave me for Damon?
No.
Throw me straight into the arms of Bethany. Well, that was pretty good. So is there anything else there was so much that we have like 2 weeks worth of stuff to talk about. But I mean, it's too much.
Yes.
I feel we'll be able to chew more. And I think also we need to, I think what we'll do is we'll discuss having maybe a third person on here to
what, to take your side?
To take my side. So if you're a fan of Bethany or Daniel, you just want to see love's young bloom, then.
I mean, only one of them's blooming a young bloom, but anyways.
Shannon, that's distressing. Anything else you have to add?
No, I don't
All right,
think so.
Cool. So we'll be back next week.
Sorry
we missed last week as well. My dad had passed away, so we had to postpone it for a week. That's enough. It's not funny that he passed away. It's funny that we paused for a week.
Yeah. Anyways, so do the free subscription to this podcast.
Yeah, I've taken the money part away altogether now.
Yeah. So, but if you subscribe to it, then you will be able to comment, right?
If you want to buy, correct? If you want to give it, yeah, that's right. Exactly. You can subscribe, and that'll let you comment on each episode below. You can listen to us on all the podcast platforms as well as on Substack directly. And if you want to give us money, go to peacelovecanada.ca and go buy something.
No.
Shannon, how do you think we pay for things, Shannon?
We didn't do it for a week. We came back, but it felt like everything was higgledy-piggledy. It'll be calmer next week.
Depends on how many sales we get at peacelovecanada.ca. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to hold for theme. See you later. This is like the after credits scene. That was good, wasn't it?
I was supposed to be like Asha. I had to pretend my hair is really straight and hold my posture.
I was like Addie in that I like Bethany. I'm sure he does too.